Hi everyone. I wanted to introduce you to Alessio here, and also who's the head winemaker and co-owner of Planeta Winery. But I also wanted to show you this wine here, which is Didacus, and it's a Chardonnay from this vintage is 2015. I think we're moving on different vintages, which Alessio is going to explain. But this is a very special wine for Planeta, both for the name, but also for the vineyard, and actually for the third position is also because of the wine itself. So Alessio, you're here to talk to us about this wine. Thank you very much and welcome. And yeah, it's actually, I just forgot to say, it comes with these wooden boxes. Amazing. Look, it's light. So Alessio, please explain to us a bit more about this beautiful Chardonnay of yours.
Super. So first of all, thank you very much because you give me the chance to present this wine that, of course, for us is a special one. My name is Alessio Planeta. I'm part of the family, founder and winemaker of Planeta, and this wine is done for the first time. Was done for the first time from us in 2014. So 30 years before we planted the first vineyards of Chardonnay on Sambuca, Sicily, on the border of the lake. And 20 years later, we decided to make a Chardonnay from the oldest vineyards, from the best parcel of our Chardonnay, so from our vineyards. So Planeta Chardonnay is quite well known, is the flag of Planeta portfolio, and we make since the beginning. And we decided after so many years, after so many experience, seeing the vineyards became older and older, and seeing all the potential of the first parcel that we plant, to make a special Chardonnay that is called Didacus, because it's dedicated to a special person that is my uncle Diego, that unfortunately last year passed away, and but was a person that was a pioneer of Sicilian viticulture and Renaissance. Diego was the man that bring special people in Sicily, like Takis, like Professor Scienza, like many other people. Was the man behind all the experimentation in Sicily in the 80s. And a very energetic and special person. And so we decided really to dedicate this wine to him. And this is really a tailor-made Chardonnay. So whatever we do in this wine is to take care of any details as one maniacs, really. So starting to the first selection in the harvest time, doing, of course, end harvest in small cases. Then we keep the grapes for one night in a fresh room. The morning after, when the grapes are 8 degrees, we do a double sorting tables. Then with full bunches go in a soft press. We select something like it'll be more than 50% of the juice. And we set the juice and we ferment in a special section of barriques for 11 months. Barriques are this vintage is 75% new, and the rest are 1 year old. From two producers that select for us for this wine some barriques. These producers are in Burgundy, Ramond, and a little bit in Bordeaux, Seguin-Moreau. And after that we taste every single barriques, we do the blend, and we do a few bottles that are, every bottle has the number. We produce around 5,600 bottles depending by the vintage, and around 6,000 bottles usually. And not every vintage. For example, 17 vintage, we didn't produce it. We skipped the vintage of 17 because it was a bit too warm for this wine. Because this is a Chardonnay where we want to preserve the elegance of the wine, and thanks to the special terroir of the area and the age of the vineyards, we try to do this. In every bottle, in every case of the wine, there is a letter that first explain the story about the wine, and secondly, there are all the information about the harvest, the vintage, and whatever, because I think that this is like a way that people can really enjoy all the project behind this wine. and was a wine that is a wine that we think is for making a long aging Chardonnay. 15 vintage was the second vintage of the project. But of course, we are talking about old vines, so a second vintage of old vines. It was a vintage a little bit richer than the 14. 14 with the first vintage was super elegant and a fresh, cool vintage for Sicily. 15 was a bit more rich with a touch of a little bit tropical, but not too much in the Chardonnay. And you will see is really a great expression of Chardonnay from the southern climate.
Oh yeah, it's a wine that I don't really want to open just yet, because I think it's a wine that can take a little bit more aging, especially on keeping it in the right temperature, the right humidity. It's very necessary. But I wanted to come back to the Chardonnay vines that you were using. So before doing the Didacus, you were using these vines to do the Chardonnay, is that correct?
Yes, was part of the Chardonnay, because our Chardonnay was a much bigger blend. This was really the heart of the vineyard, and around we have other vineyards of Chardonnay. And this parcel is exactly on the border of the hill, at 70 meters from the lake, and covered by a system of mountain around the vineyards that protect the vineyard from eventually the hot wind from the southeast that sometimes in Sicily could arrive. And the name is Scirocco, and the name is similar to your name, but is warmer than you, and so and so this is why for me this parcel is great. And soils are clay, and is a very special place, Ulmo. We start our project Planeta in Ulmo, and happily 10 years after we plant our vineyards, one day on the top of on the border of the mountains, some hunters find a place that then we clean, and that where there is today a palmento from Phoenician times. So we find a place not far from the vineyards where 2,500 years ago people makes wine. And if they decided to make a winery, of course, primitive winery, Palmento there was a reason in the past that maybe is a reason today of a balance, of an harmony, of whatever that is in the place.
Absolutely. I mean,
the place is completely.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, yeah. I was saying that the place is absolutely clean and unique, and we make a sustainable agriculture there since certified since 11 years. And so it's really a special place.
It is. I mean, when just coming back to the primitive winery, they knew how to read nature a lot more than we know how to read nature now. And when you see these places where they used to grow grapes, or they used to grow crops, or even put their houses, they're usually the best places to put the houses, or the best places to put the crops. And yeah, the rest of these wineries, like this one that you found, I think, yes, shows that yes, it's a perfect place for growing grapes, and great grapes make great wines, such as this one. The letter that you were talking about as well is a great idea. It really helps getting you more in tune with what you're going to drink, and to know the winery a little more. So it's a great touch to go with the wine. Well, I think we're not going to open these today. But if I may ask, there's another project as well with a Didacus name. Or can we talk about this? Or?
Yes. After some years, we decided in 16 vintage to make a Didacus Cabernet Franc, because not far from these vineyards, but at 440 meters on the top of the hill, over Ulmo. There is like a platform, a plateau, where we have this Cabernet Franc planted in 99. And we make there a super rich and unique Cabernet Franc. And we decided to make a Didacus 100% Cabernet Franc. That Cabernet Franc in Mediterranean climate makes something very interesting, losing all the green pepper characters and becoming much more on red fruit side, on the dense tannins and soft and dense at the same times. So something interesting that with the same philosophy, so extremely tailor-made Cabernet Franc, we make this Didacus Cabernet Franc. And
we
is
can't
the
wait.
right
Well,
right
we can't wait to
contain.
see. Yeah, we can't wait to see a bottle of this wine in the UK. But yeah, no, thank you so much for talking to us about this very special wines for Planeta. It's a pleasure to see you, Alessio, and please say hello
My
to
pleasure.
all the family and Benny and Patricia and everybody else. We'll look forward to see you soon.
Grazie mille. See you soon in Sicily, on UK, because we want to fly somewhere. We feel in a cage in Sicily, in a golden cage, but in a cage.
Yes. Well,
Yeah,
you
see you.
summer to come up.
Good. Thank you. Grazie.
Thank you very much. Ciao.
Ciao.